And this hammer hits hard. Yeah, dude. I'm actually using Trsna. It's on the hammer. Oh, he popped something. I didn't see that. On the hammer, I highly recommend running the turquoise gem, because you're already like with the hammer passes, you're already like over in power cap. And then if you run like a strike damage, yeah, if you run strike damage on the ring, and then yeah, you run the turquoise gem. Oh, in midair on the dome. Which is my attribute distribution. I'm doing, since we're in full 725 gear score, I'm doing 300 strength, 350 con. So we make, we benefit from. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. We're just farming them right now, chat. Holy shit. Oh man, they built a fucking door so you could get away. Couldn't get away from me, bro.
Where y'all going?
Yeah, party's this way.
What the?
I just want to play. Is that for a check?
Magico. Yeah, just pop mine.
Damn.
Turn around. Bink. Exquisite timing, right?
Dude. Oh my gosh. Dude, send to the shadow round, bro.
And they have a healer as well.
And this Magico guy is... Oh my God. Oh my God. Alrighty, guys. Got another build video for y'all. This is going to be the heavy hammer build, Trsna sword and shield. So starting off with the gear, we got a helmet with shuriken heals, invigorated, and slash conditioning. Now this is going to be a 5-piece shuriken heals build, of course. And also keep in mind, this is a template for you to build around, you know, get your brain going and, you know, tune it to your liking, because, you know, what works for me may not work for you, or you might have some other gear lying around that you might find it works better. So the artifact we are running for this build, we have the heavy chest piece, Void Dark Plate. Now this drops from the Barnacles and Black Powder mutation. I love this artifact from its intrinsic perk, Dark Reinforced. Your armor is increased by 20%. And since we are in full heavy with a tower shield, we are going to be able to boost our armor a lot, especially since we are running Void Dark Plate to really have our base numbers even higher. And now it comes with Enchanted Ward, which is really nice. And then Physical Aversion, it's, you know, it is what it is. I kind of wish it was a different perk because Physical Aversion's kind of mid, especially since there's a lot of elemental damage in the meta at the moment. And then I went ahead and put Shuriken Heals on this so that we could have a 5-piece Shuriken Heals build. And with the gauntlets, I have a piece of Freedom, Shuriken Heals, and Sundering Shockwave. Sundering Shockwave on the body is really nice to have. If you're not able to run it, that's okay, but I highly recommend having it to get another stack of rend for this build from our Shockwave. Now with the pants, heavy pants, piece of Freedom. Now with Mortal Lifesteal and Shuriken Heals, Mortal Lifesteal is actually really good this season. Being able to have this on the body, they changed that in the update for season 8. Previously you weren't able to do that, so now that we're able to run Mortal Lifesteal on the body, we get 2% lifesteal from our hits, and then we gain 8% of our max health on kill. And since we have a high max health, that will be really huge on when we secure those kills when we are fighting outnumbered. And then for the heavy boots, another piece of Freedom to give us 3 pieces of Freedom to put us at the Freedom cap. While in heavy, a total of 56%. I'm pretty sure, yeah, cap is 50%. So we are able to move as freely as possible. A complete freight train, guys. I'm telling you, no one is going to be able to keep you down. You're just going to keep moving forward through all the routes, slows, stuns, you name it. Everything that they throw at you, the kitchen sink. You know, I love it when, you know, they hit you with Scream and then they hit you with the Tangle Vines. I'm like, I just keep walking. I keep walking towards them, keep putting the pressure up. Oh man, it is so refreshing. I think you will come to enjoy it a lot. And now 1 piece of Haste of Vigor to give us a little bit more speed, since the chase down potential with this build, you'll come to find is kind of rough, but you just gotta really play mind games and make sure that they stam themselves out. Just keep an eye on that stamina bar, and when they do, you'll then be able to switch to the hammer and start applying your friends, doing your full combo and doing a lot of damage. Now, if you have the boots, the Keen Speed boots from the Sandworm, feel free to put those on and let me know in the comments below how you like it with this build, because I currently don't have them yet. I wish I did, because oh my gosh, I think this build would be even more insane. It is such a great armor piece, and it changes builds tenfold, bro. Like, it's crazy. Just adding that Keen Speed on the body, you're able to keep up the pressure and stay glued to your opponent. And then with our tower shield, now you could run 2 different tower shields depending on how you want to run this build. I recently changed it up and went with the tall Doomborn shield. Now this comes with Fortifying Shield Rush and Sturdy. I went ahead and put Sturdy 4 on this tower shield, changing up my SNS skill tree a little bit. Before, I was doing, you know, Shield Bash and defensive resolve, but with this setup, running Fortifying Shield Rush and still have defense resolve as one of my abilities as well. We aren't running Accelerated Resolve, unfortunately. You could run that tower shield. It's a great tower shield. The Legion Shield Wall, it comes with Accelerated Resolve, Sturdy, and then you put Sturdy 4 on this to give us even more Fortify, to give us a lot of resistances. This is a great tower shield. I kind of like going back and forth, because having Accelerated Resolve, it's a great way to chase down your opponent if they are getting away, or it's a great way to get out from a clump that is, you know, completely surrounded you. You pop your stone form and then hit it that Accelerated Resolve and get out of dodge. But I do like that Fortifying Shield Rush. Even if people surround me, I hit them with that Shield Rush. It kind of pushes everybody back. I get that 36% Fortify for 6 seconds, and then I can hit my Defensive Resolve as well to give us even more Fortify and mitigation. And then what really makes this build come together is we are running Trsna. I've actually come to enjoy this artifact. Now, if you have a 725 hammer, that is just, you know, like a crafted hammer with plague strikes, thunder and clear out, and trench and recov, let me know how you like it, because one day I will try a hammer, craft a hammer like that with this build, and I think it could honestly do a little bit better. Having that plague strikes, you know, that some form of anti-heal could go a long way. Now, I did put in a turquoise gem in the gem socket to give us that 12% armor penetration. I prefer this over running any other gem because we already hit the empower cap just from the passives from hammer, and we also have strike damage on the ring to keep us over the empower cap if we are hit with a lot of weakens. And that 12% pen, even if we're weakened, we will still be penetrating their armor by 12% regardless. So do not sleep on the turquoise gem. Give it a shot. And then Trsna comes with life stealing and trencher recov. We have a lot of self-sustain running this hammer. And then I went ahead and put Thunder and Clear Out on the weapon to give us 24% rend for 7 seconds when we use our clear out. And then for the sword, rocking the Hoplite long sword, this drops from the Hive of Gorgon's raid, or you could use 40 tokens from that raid to purchase it from the kiln. And it comes with refreshing move and trenchant rend. I went ahead and put empowering leaping strike on this sword, so our sword attacks deal 34% damage to target slowed by leaping strike cowardly punishment upgrade. So it is a nominal sword to give us a lot of chip damage when we are on our sword and shield, and really keep that empower level up as well as that damage. I went ahead and put in an Arboreal Retaliate gem, the gem socket. You gain a stack of 8% damage for 5 seconds after blocking or taking a hit, and max to 3 stacks. Now keep in mind, the Jasper gem does not go over the empower cap, but it will put you at the cap, even if you of course are being weakened. It just doesn't put you over. Just keep that in mind. Then of course, we're running the Stalwart Heart Rune of Stone Form. Run this on all my builds. Phenomenal Heart Rune, great for self-sustain, as well as going on the offensive to not get stunned or staggered to even, you know, secure the kill. Now for our amulet, got Divine Health and Thrust Protection. I highly recommend going Thrust Protection because there is a lot of thrust damage out there, and to really have a good resistance spread on this build, you're going to want to run Thrust Protection over any other Thrust Protection. But if you do change it up, let me know, and yeah, let me know how you like it down in the comments below. I'm always curious when you guys, you know, make some changes to builds that I make. Now with the ring, rocking Healing Breeze. Healing Breeze is a phenomenal perk. I honestly prefer this over Legion because it's a great passive heal. It triggers off of a healthy toast if you're running that on your earring, or it also triggers off of Mortal Lifesteal. So if you wanted to drop Healthy Toast, since we are going to be constantly proccing our Healing Breeze from Mortal Lifesteal, now we can then run Justice on the earring. I recently started using this. Now in the gameplay, you will see I'm not running Justice for most of it, and that's because I totally forgot that Justice comes with Healing Heart on the earring. That was my main concern and my main gripe on not running Endless Thirst, because it doesn't have Healing Heart. Healing Heart is a phenomenal perk, and it's heavily slept on, guys. I'm telling you, especially since we have a large health pool of 20,000. 10% of that we will heal immediately when we activate our Heart Rune. And then of course it has Empowering Toast, and we went ahead and put Regenerating on this, and its intrinsic perk Alchemist Ward. When you get hit 20 times, gain a potion surge that will recharge your next survival potion instantly. Has a 90-second cooldown, and keep in mind you can't use multiple potion surges within 75 seconds of each other, so you just got to pay attention to your cooldowns and what you use the last. So this is where it comes down to potion management, and it'll take some time. I'm still getting used to it, but what you're going to want to do is use those health potions more often. So you'll hit a health potion when that potion surge is ready, hit that health potion, and then you can use your regen as well. So you just have to make sure you're using that health potion first, then the regen, because the regen does not stack, unfortunately. So if you go ahead and use that regen and then the only thing that is open is that regen and you use it again, it will not add that extra healing you think you would get, but it doesn't stack, unfortunately. Now with our resistances, we've got 5% slash. That's okay, right? Because we do have one piece of slash conditioning to bring us to 10%. Like I said, you could drop another piece of freedom, you know, and to add another piece of slash conditioning, even rocking enchanted ward. But we got 5% strike, 20% thrust, 5% standard damage resist, that is your bleed damage resist, and then 10% elemental damage across the board. Except for fire damage, we have that at 22%. Now that includes 2 onyxes, 4 opals, and 2 rubies. Now for our attributes, since we are in full 725 gear score, we are able to take advantage of the phenomenal 300 strength, 350 con split. Now, in order to hit this, even though you're in 725 gear score, you need to have at least one piece of con and be running the roasted new fish strength food. Now, why is this so strong? Well, we are able to hit that threshold for 300 strength. We get 7% base damage while under 90% health, on top of when we hit that 350 on threshold, 7% base damage reduction while you have active grit. And we constantly have grit since our light attacks have grit on startup. And not to mention our heavy attacks as well from our hammer. Now, starting off with the hammer skill tree, be sure to pause the video or take a screenshot. Now, you could change this up in 2 ways, right? I've gone between dropping the opening act and going with the acceleration, because we are constantly using our light attacks in our toolkit to reduce Warhammer cooldowns by 7% when using light attacks against targets hit with an active debuff. So we have our cooldowns reduced by quite a bit, as well as the quick recovery passive heavy attacks that hit reduce cooldowns by 7%. So you have both of these going. We'll be getting our abilities back very quickly. Now, it is unfortunate, you know, losing opening act, but like I said, you could drop acceleration and put opening act in there. I really like the exhaustive attacks. I wouldn't recommend dropping this to put opening act, or even the facilitated expedition. After hitting a target with an active debuff, gain haste, increasing movement by 15%. That having that extra boost of haste is very crucial to really stay hooked to the target. Now, if you have the keen speed boots from the worm, you could drop this and put opening act in there, and since you'll have that keen speed, you'll be able to stay glued to the target more often. Now, with the SNS skill tree, be sure to pause the video or take a screenshot. This is the fortifying shield rush setup. I honestly like this more than what I was running before, but if you prefer running accelerated resolve on your shield, I've got you. Be sure to pause the video or take a screenshot. This is the accelerated resolve version of the sword and shield skill tree. Now, just some tips when running this build. Now, starting off with the sword and shield, I like to start getting that fortify up by just, you know, blocking. We're going to be getting a lot of fortify from sturdy fort, as well as the passive on your SNS skill tree, and then getting some chip damage at their blocking as well. You know, if you're, you know, fighting against a good player, they're gonna block from time to time. So, you know, breaking their guard, and so that they have no stamina is very important, because then I like to do is, yeah, get that leaping strike. You get a lot of damage, a lot of chip damage from that Empower and leaping strike, and then we can shield rush into them, switch, clear out, shockwave into our armor breaker. Now, what you want to keep in mind is if you are running the other skill tree with shield bash, you go ahead and hit him with a shield bash, then a shockwave. I do that too often. It's kind of, you know, a force of habit, but don't do what I do with that because they will be able to break out of it immediately because of the back-to-back hard CCs. So what you want to do is hit them with that bash and then clear out, right? And then you can hit him shockwave, armor breaker, and that'll do a ton of damage, applying all those rends, basically getting you to, I think it's around 68% rend between all three of them. So yeah, from our Sundering Shockwave, Sundering Clear Out, and then Armor Breaker. But just getting used to the light attack, medium heavy combo is very important. Once you get this down, I'm telling you, you'll just have a blast. And just knowing that when to attack, you know, block. And since we have 3 freedom, we're able to move very freely. I'm telling you, man, this build is a ton of fun. You honestly have to play a lot of mind games, you know, like baiting out your attacks. So like do a light attack, almost look like you're about to charge up for a heavy because they see that grit flash, and then just immediately block, you know, try to make them get caught in an animation. And that's when you can hit them with the clear out. And then they're stuck in the combo. Boom. But there you have it, guys. The Trsna SNS build, aka the heavy hammer build. If you made it this far in the video, be sure to drop a like if you enjoyed, and consider subscribing if you haven't done so already for more videos like this one here. I think you guys are really going to enjoy this build, you know, just taking on the whole team, a one-man army style of play. So again, thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.